I'm Jennifer, and welcome to my channel, Mint Green Gypsy. Thank you for being here with me today, and I hope you enjoy the 2 Christmas projects that I have for you. For project 1, we will be making a paper Christmas bunting. This is the first time I will be using the Christmas Puppies stamp from IOD, so I'm giving it a light sanding to create a tooth for the ink to stick to. I will be stamping the Christmas Puppies on watercolor paper, which is an easy medium for stamping. I'm using the grid lines in the IOD Thin Mount and a ruler to determine where I will cut the watercolor paper to fit each stamp. I'm cutting the watercolor paper different sizes to fit each individual stamp. Here I am just planning out my project, making sure that I like the idea that's in my head. I am using 6" by 6" cardstock, decorative cardstock that came out of a Hobby Lobby booklet to put the stamped watercolor paper on for this project. I am using Iron Orchid Designs permanent ink in black, and I'm filling up my ink pad. My stamp is on a thin mount, which helps me hold the stamp during the stamping process. And now I am just putting the black ink on my stamp, and now you can see more clearly the cute little puppy with the Santa hat on. Making sure my stamp has a lot of ink on it. And before I put my stamp on the paper, I like to clean off the thin mount where I get the ink on it so it doesn't transfer to the paper. I find it easiest to use a baby wipe just to clean up the sides around the stamp. The grid lines on the thin mount help me center the stamp onto my paper. After I put the stamp down, I hold it in place with one hand and press the stamp into the paper with my other hand, and then carefully lift the stamp, making sure not to smudge the ink. And look how cute that little puppy is. On to the next stamp. Make sure to wipe that extra ink off because it will transfer easily to the paper. And then it's just the same process of holding and pressing and carefully lifting. I'm just rubbing off the extra ink after I've used the stamp until I can get it into some soapy water to clean it. This is the largest stamp in the set, so I'm putting this one in the middle of the bunting. The stamp set has 6 designs, so I stamped one of the Christmas puppies twice so that I would have 3 puppies on each side of the larger middle puppy. This will give the bunting a balanced look when it's hung. And this is the Christmas puppy that I stamped twice, and I put it on each end of the bunting. I am using liquid patina by Debi's DIY Paint, along the edges of the watercolor paper, and I'm pouring on gold glass glitter that I found at Michael's. And I just wanted to show you guys this glitter tray that I got from Michael's. After you glitter your project, you can take the stopper off and then pour your glitter back into your glitter jar. I thought it was very useful. I wanted to make the bunting a little stronger and give it a finished look on the back. So I took some thick black cardstock and I cut it to fit the buntings. But before I glued everything together, I took these decorative photo corners and I stuck them to the bottom of the corners of the black cardstock just to give the bottom a more complete finished look. If I would have had those little paper cutters for the corners of the papers, I would have used those, but I didn't have them, so I used these little photo corners, and I think it turned out really cute. I used an Elmer's glue stick to glue all the layers of paper together. I like the glue stick because it is a thin layer of glue and it doesn't leave any like bulky texture through the paper. Plus it's just really easy to use. Guys, I just love these adorable IOD Christmas puppy stamps. It is from last year's release, but I know some of the stockists still have them. IOD also has a Christmas kitty stamp from the release from last year if you prefer cats. For the last step of this project, I am tying a loop in this red corded ribbon for hanging and using a hot glue gun to glue it to the buntings. I used a ruler and I loosely measured 2 inches between each of the buntings. I wanted to make sure everything was spaced evenly. Okay guys, here is the finished project. I hope you like it. Please don't forget to give my video a thumbs up, and I would also love it if you subscribe to my channel. Okay guys, for project 2, I thrifted these 2 silver plated sugar bowls, which both were missing their lids. I added a transfer from IOD's Crimson Velvet Transfer Pack to each sugar bowl. I really like the tarnished look of the silver. I thought it went great with the project. Adding a transfer to a rounded surface can be a bit tricky. This is a smaller transfer, so I just started rubbing with the transfer stick on one side, and then as it transferred, moved to the other side, as opposed to starting in the middle of the transfer. For a larger transfer, I would probably cut it into 4 sections and apply it that way. I started this project off with these white bottle brush trees, but you will see I decided I didn't like them and I used different bottle brush trees instead. I am filling the bowls the best I can with floral foam and gluing it down with hot glue. I want the top of the bowls to look like snow, so I'm using Debi's DIY White Swan paint, and I'm mixing it with paint frosting, a thickening agent by Debi's DIY Paint. I just add a tiny bit of the thickening agent, and then I mix it up and wait a couple minutes, and the paint thickens right up. And then I spread it across the floral foam on the top of the silver sugar bowl. While the paint is still wet, I add my mixture of faux snow and glitter, and then I add the white bottle brush trees, and I let the project dry overnight. When I came back the next day, I just didn't like the white trees, so I found some more traditional green trees with snow on them, and I like these much better. I took them apart, removed all the pieces, removed the little stand from the tree. Because I applied the paint frosting mixture to an uneven surface, the paint cracked as it dried. So I mixed more paint and frosting and applied another layer. This time I used tarnished pearl since I was out of white swan. After the faux snow and glitter was added, you could not tell that there was a difference in the paint color. The trunks on these trees were thick, so I had to take the bowls to the garage and drill holes through the paint and the floral foam before I hot glued the trees in. This is bowl filler from the Dollar Tree. It's just foam little silver and white balls that I am hot gluing to the trees to decorate them a bit. now I'm adding a velvet bow for a finishing touch. One of the sugar bowls was wider than the other, and it just had a bunch of extra space at the bottom, so I went to Michael's and I found these little mini presents, and I just hot glued them to the bottom, to the base of the tree. I thought it looked so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.